It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Tuesday night, one day moved away from Monday, but 5 days closer to Sunday. And one day we going to understand what it
For your
takes to
show
be the
now, press
man, be
1.
our
To
best,
hear
and
important
do
instructions,
everything we
press 2.
can. All right, y'all.
As it appears you're
All
coming
right,
back
Daily Go
into a
Get 'Em is
live
a
show,
show
we are
tonight.
reconnecting you now.
The things that the people who have asked you to marry them have gained or lost the gain. Yo, you know there have been a lot more people who have been asked to be married, a lot more people who have been proposed to than people who have actually accepted that proposal and people who have actually gone through and gotten married. So think about this tonight. We're going to get into this thing. How many times have you been proposed to? How many times have someone asked you to marry them? Have you ever been asked to be married by one person more than one time? In other words, have you turned somebody down once or twice or 3 times? You said, yo, we can't do this no time. Well, sometimes the person who declines an offer is sometimes the person who isn't good for the offer. In other words, just because you turn somebody down for a marriage proposal doesn't mean that the other person who asked you to marry them wasn't a good catch. You might have been the one that wasn't a good catch and not a good match, and you said no, go ask another batch because I'm not ready to be a good wife, a good husband, and I think, and it would be better for me to be alone right now, somebody clone right now. Well, we need to take a look at that. Have the people who asked you to marry them, have they lost something when you said no? Have they gained something when you said so? And what about the people who you have married? What about them? Some people have been married once, twice, 3 times a failure. Well, I'm only saying failure because when a marriage ends, a lot of people consider that marriage to have been a failure. Now, whether it's really like that or not, it's not really what we're trying to debate about tonight. But what about people who have been married more than twice? Do you look at people sideways that have been married 3, 4, 5 times? I ain't gonna lie, I do. Like, you've been married 5 times? 5 times. Now, it's an interesting phenomenon because you have to think that it's not always fair when people judge people who have multiple kids by multiple parents, right? Like, especially the woman who has 4 kids, 4 different fathers, 5 kids, 4 different fathers, 5 different fathers. I've known women who have had 6 kids, 6 different fathers, 7 kids, 7 different dads. Like them niggas is all one and done. And people look at them like, what kind of mess is that? They look at her like she's trifling. They look at her like she's dirty. They look at her like she's loose. You mean to tell me you don't look at somebody with a question mark when they tell you they've been married 4 or 5 times? Like, so you've done a lifetime commitment. A lifetime commitment. The commitment that was supposed to be till death do us part. You've done it 5 times, 4 times, 5 times, whatever. Seems like a double standard, but it might be a double standard that's acceptable. I mean, people respect marriage. Oh, well, I mean, regardless of what happened, you married him. You stood before God. You said, I do. You made it legal. You dealt with the consequences that came with that. But every single parent deals with the consequences that come from that too. But hey, a choice is a choice. You do what you feel. Yo, we going to talk about some stuff tonight that's real. So let's get it popping. The things that people who have asked you to marry them have gained, won, lost, had taken away from them. We're going to go a little deep in this conversation. Because this is something that we don't always talk about. Sometimes we talk about it without meaning to talk about it. Like, remember last year the whole thing with I think what was her name? Steve Harvey's daughter, stepdaughter, whatever. Lori Harvey, when Michael B. Jordan, I believe, wasn't it Michael B. Jordan, asked her to marry him. And she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm out here. I'm young, I'm virile, I'm doing my thing, and I'm sterile, and I make sure I'm treated like a queen. I'm gonna soil my royal feminine oats, and you don't like it. Well, it might not float your boat, but this is my decision, and I'm not listening to nobody else. Right now, I'm young and going for self. And people was mad at her, telling her what she should do, telling her that she was only for the streets. You're not, you're nasty pew. And a lot of people said, don't worry, Michael B. Jordan. You didn't need her. She was for the streets. She was for the streets. You need to go get yourself a nice girl who will appreciate you. Who will basically, what I was hearing was, you need to get somebody who really will worship you and who thinks that you're the shit, because she don't think so. She thinks that there's something out here better for her. And hey, she might have been right. But the bottom line is, a lot of people intervened into their business, into her personal business, into her personal life. They wanted to make a determination about whether he was good for her or she was good for him, or who was wrong and who was right. So there are times when we get into it, and express our opinions about who's good for who. So in a situation like that, did he win or did he lose? Because she said no. Did she win or did she lose because she said no? He may not have been the only one who has proposed to her in her life. Somebody else somewhere that we don't know about publicly may have asked her, like, listen, Lori, can I lock it down? Can I get with you now? You know that I'm like a submarine trying to be down. I want to be down. If you want me to, I'm trying to be down. Mm. Oh, look at this. Janet Jackson married a Qatar billionaire in 2012. There were two clauses in the prenuptial agreement. She would get $100 million if the marriage lasted for 5 years. And she would get $100 million if she gave the tycoon an heir. In 2016, at age 49, she got pregnant. She gave birth in 2017, the year they completed 5 years of marriage. The same year, she filed for divorce and received $200 million from the tycoon. I swear, man, that's divine intervention, because I wasn't looking for that. I just happened to be posting that to a show. Posting that to one of my groups, and boom. Well, how about that? Janet Jackson. You know, the general public seems to think that these celebrity marriages are real, or that they have something, an element to them of normality, the way that everybody else out here gets married. But let's get into this thing. Let's get into it. What do y'all think? We can get very personal. Well, we have two ladies on here right now, T. Carey Wright and Carol Chamberlain. I'm sure that multiple men have probably asked you to get married in your lifetime. You may have declined some, you may have accepted some, one or two or whatever. For the ones that you said no to, did you do it because you didn't feel like they would be a good husband, or because you didn't think that you would be a good wife? We might as well be honest about it, because you know, at the end of the day, you made a decision that will govern the rest of your life. So in turn, that seems like a pretty decent decision in and of itself. You don't owe anybody out here to take their hand in holy matrimony and enter into a lifetime commitment union that you don't even believe in from the onset. Far too many people do that. And have they gained or lost? For the people who have accepted the marriage proposals that have been given to them, did the person that they married get a good catch? I don't think it's a good catch. If I ask a woman to get married and she says, yeah, but she ain't really into me like that, I haven't won. I don't know that I've lost, but I haven't won. I've entered into a union with an unhappy person, a person that isn't even happy with me. Now, there could be a variety of reasons of why she wasn't happy with me. Maybe she didn't love me. Maybe she didn't care. Maybe she didn't really feel like being a wife. Maybe she didn't want to submit. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she was a feminist. Maybe she had an eye on another man. Maybe she was still suffering from a past relationship that she was hoping would come back to life one day. And I was nothing but a life raft and a placemat for her emotions. Now, I'm not talking about me personally. I'm just saying, these things happen. So many of us have had either marriage proposals, job offers, offers to move away from wherever we lived and things like that. Sometimes we accept it, and it was a good choice. Sometimes we refused and later found out that it was a good choice. Sometimes we accepted and found out that it was a very poor choice. Sometimes we refused and found out that it was a very poor choice. Where my gamblers at? Who has ever gone to a casino and sat there trying to give birth to a slot machine? You in there feeding the slot machine. You know this thing is about to pop. You know it's about to pop. It's giving you those little wins just to keep you playing, Meanwhile, you losing money, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like you win, let's say you lose $30. You done put $30 in the machine and it gives you back $25. You're like, all right, so I really only lost $5. But at the end of it, you done lost $100 trying to stay with that machine because you believe that if you went to another machine, somebody would come to that machine and it would jackpot. And it has happened. It has happened. Well, that's it. This is too rich for my blood. I'm not even a gambler like this. Let me go get something to eat, something to drink, or whatever. I'm about to go home, walk the boardwalk. If you went to a boardwalk casino, whatever the case may be, you got up from your damn seat. Somebody sat in that seat, and the first few coins that they put in there, ding, 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 all these thousands of dollars. They done jackpotted your machine that you sat in. You had to make a decision. Don't worry. That eye in the sky controls that electricity for that machine. They was never going to let you win. They only let that person win so your stupid ass would sit at another machine and try to make it happen. Or so you would feel bad. Never trust those electronics, baby. Don't trust those electronics. They out to get you. The things that the things that the people who have asked you to marry them have gained or lost, won or lost. Some of y'all women out here have been very good wives, and y'all was ready. Wait. Let me say this because I'm talking too much like I know when I don't know. I imagine that some of y'all were ready to be wives, and some of y'all really weren't. And y'all kind of got it together on the fly. Some of y'all have been to counseling, had to get your shit together. Some of y'all, some of y'all some of y'all moms or dads had to intervene and and be told, listen, you are the problem. That man or that man is trying his best with you. And you running around here being selfish, being reckless, and are kind of blocking your blessings. Some of us had to be straightened out. All right. My brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? T. Carey Wright says they Eon because they're still good friends. Yeah, but do they know what they won or lost? Because what I'm really asking you is, were you ready to be a wife or a husband? Were you ready? Because only you really know. Other people can think based on whatever criteria they have to think, but only you really know if you're ready or what you're willing to give or aren't willing to give. Like the person who you refused a proposal, they might not know had you actually gotten married that you were going to give it your all. They don't know. They do not know. They don't know that they may have been privy to breakfasts, lunches, and dinner. Ziz. They don't know that. They don't know that you would have, I don't know, been willing to give a blowjob with every meal or whatever. They don't know that you would have shared everything with your man that you possibly had. They don't know that because they didn't get there. They didn't get there. Even if you were doing that as a woman, or should I say as their woman, they don't know if you were going to turn it up when you got married. They don't know. We can never know. Y'all never got married. So I'm not necessarily asking the person who who asked you to marry them what their perspective is. I'm asking you because you know what you were willing to give. You know. Carol Chamberlain says, Janet was just smart. Was she smart? I think she was diabolical. I'm not going to say she was smart. I have a lot of contempt with people who play around with marriage. Like, in relationships and stuff like that, I don't have a lot to say about that. But marriage is a deeper level of commitment. I'm like, you ain't got to get married to go with somebody. You ain't got to get married to have kids. You ain't got to get married to live with somebody. You ain't got to get married to put each other on each other's contracts and bills and all that kind of stuff. You do not have to get married to do none of that. What you do or should get married for is for the guarantee that you will participate in the positivity of that union for life. All that other stuff, you do not have to marry a person for that. You ain't got to do it. So if you go all the way till marriage and you play around with that, I ain't got nothing to say for you. Not me. You got to marry nobody for their money. Shit. Look how much money. Look at how much money millionaires and billionaires give away to people that they're not married to. They donate money. They trick. They just blow cash. Stuff. Write off millions of dollars with their taxes. All that kind of stuff. You ain't got to marry nobody for no money. That's small ball, really. And Janet Jackson, how much money has Janet Jackson had to made over her career? You got to marry nobody for no couple of $100 million. If she didn't make that, I don't know what to say. Really. All that dancing and gyrating and rhythm nationing you did all them years, you ain't touch 100 million. Everybody else did. Everybody else in your class who did what Janet Jackson did made $100 million. You know, the Britney Spears, the Christina Aguileras, the shit, for all we know, the Debbie Gibsons. Anybody who got on that stage and danced, made pop songs, you know what I'm saying? They found a way to make $100 million. So if Janet ain't do that shit, I don't know what to tell you. Because she was bigger than all of them. Came from a family that did it. None of them came from that shit. So anyway, let me see. T. Carey Wright says Diddy was all in with Lori Harvey. Did he ask her to marry him though? Because you know, Diddy will screw anybody. Male, female, male, artist. He screw you literally and figuratively. But I mean, we know that he had a thing for Lori Harvey. We know he had a thing for J-Lo. He had a thing for a lot of women. And some men, from what I understand. But did he ask? I mean, how many times has Diddy been married? Had a lot of girlfriends. Just like the rapper actor Common, a lot of girlfriends. But he ain't throwing that ring up on nobody on nobody hand. He like, listen, I ain't getting this to bring no sand to the beach. There's plenty of sand on this beach. I'm about to chill in the sand, dig my toes in the sand. Okay, let me see. Carol says, in my case, one that I didn't marry, I felt it wasn't really, I felt wasn't really ready to marry. Okay. So you mean that even though he asked you to marry him, you didn't feel like he was really ready to be married. Maybe he was in love with you, or maybe he was in love with love, or maybe he was in love with the idea of being married, the lifestyle and all of that. I'm asking, not telling. Excuse me. T. Carey Wright says, I didn't think that I would be a good wife. He was hurt, but in the end, he won because his wife was a wonderful fit for him. I don't think you could answer it any better than that for me. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You know, sometimes we have to suck up our pride a little bit and say, well, you know what? You dodged the bullet not messing with me because I wasn't ready to do nothing you wanted me to do. I was fully ready to buck all compromises. You wouldn't have been able to do nothing with me. Sometimes we have to be humble enough to admit that. Admit that to the person that was going to be the recipient of our behavior, love, emotions, and to ourselves. Because we have to accept ourselves regardless of what we do, how we feel, and who we are. TK Wright says, even when I got married, I wasn't ready to be a wife, but the transition was easier for me than I originally thought. I took pride in my role of a wife, but it was one-sided. So in that situation, are you saying that your husband won? He gained. Maybe he gained. Did he know that he was gaining or that he was winning when he asked? And I'm not asking that outright. You know, that's sort of like a rhetorical question. Emily. I mean, Emma. Emma Dunlap is in. I said it. Emma. What up, Emily? Stacy White. What's going on, Ma? Good to see me some you. That's what up. That's what up. That's what up. TK Wright says she said she wasn't ready. Who said that? Lori? With that Lori? Lori? She said she wasn't ready. Or who? Ansel Jones says, has gender roles changed in 2023? I guess it depends on who you ask. Don't ask social media. I'm warning you. It's hard to get a good answer or a straight answer or a well-informed answer on social media. It really is. Wait a minute. I know that ain't my brother from another mother, Donald Mack. My other brother from another mother, Donald Mack. Look at him. He done stuck his head all up in here. What's going on, my man? You know what I'm saying? It's been over a year. What's going on? Donald Mack is in the house holding it down for the D. What's up? On the western side of Pennsylvania doing the damn thing. You still Ubering? You know, used to be busy getting all the money. He was making. I didn't think it was going to be no money left from Uber the way Donald Mack used to do it. TK Wright says he definitely won. He did say that over. He did say that over the years, even after it was all over. Well, we all got somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. This is a safe space, no judgment zone. We just talking about what happened. That's all. We just talking about what happened. Yeah, it's a tough thing, man. You know, but that's why I wanted to do this show tonight, because sometimes the world can look at you like a winner. Meanwhile, on the inside, you looking at it like, man, y'all don't understand what's going on. Y'all don't understand how I feel. Y'all don't understand the way this thing is going. The way that this thing has been set up has not been, it's been feeling like a setup. It hasn't been fair. It hasn't been right. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been just. But the people who asked you to marry them, whether you said no, whether you said yes, they either have added something to their lives or had something subtracted from their lives by adding you to their lives, or having you subtracted from their lives, you know? So I'm asking you, the things that the people who have asked you to marry them have won or lost? Donald Mack, Ansel Jones, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. You know, if he come up here soon, y'all know all of us have been young men, sticking, moving, sticking. And sometimes while we were young, we may have fallen in love, got married, asked somebody to get married, were ready to be married, was living life like we were married. All the while, we may have been pulled in two different directions, pulled in two separate directions, spreading our seed around. Like, here a little bit of seed for you. Here a little bit of, here a little bit, here multiple state, city, county. One of them chicks you like more than the rest of them chicks. And that might have been the one that you asked to marry. That might have been the one that you actually did marry. And only you know the atrocities that you have committed during the time of that marriage or the time of that union. She don't know. She don't know that while she was waiting for you to come home, you was coming from the next state, next city, next county, next town. Been laying up. Said you was going to work that day, laid up all day, took a vacation day so you would get paid. She don't know. She don't know that when your body was here with her, your mind was on the other side of town. You're messing her around. And you ain't look at it like that. You looked at it like, listen, I'm gonna reel this thing in. And I mean, I know I'm all over the place right now, but all of these chicks, they love me. And I'm supposed to have it like this. I'm putting it down. I'm giving out money. I'm doing my damn thing. You know what I mean? But after a while, I'm gonna reel it all in, and it's just gonna be me and her. And in your mind, you actually believe in that shit. You juggling 4 or 5, and in your mind, you figure like the 5th one is gonna fall off, the 4th one will fall off. I'll get rid of the 3rd one. Me and the 2nd one, it'll, we'll rock out, because I can handle the 2, and then the 1. And then I'll finally be down with the 1. But because that's private. That's my struggle. I already worked that out with God and everything. That's my struggle. Mind comp. Carol Chamberlain says, in my case, he won. I certainly wasn't ready to marry. So you weren't ready to marry, but you were willing to do the things that a married woman is supposed to do. You were willing to go ahead and be the good wife, even though you didn't really think it was a good idea. Is that what you're saying? Carol Chamberlain says, oh yeah, okay. All right. You boo loving with Donald Mack. That's what's up. Donald Mack says, my divorce is final. Happily divorced 23 years. I hear you. But yeah, man. People don't talk about this enough. But as you jog your memory, maybe you're hooked up now, happy now, content now, have settled down, not as wild as you used to be now. And by wild, I mean when your mind is in the wilderness. Your body doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying that you out there, letting everybody hit or hitting everybody. But when your mind is in the wilderness, it's not settled. It's not structured. Out in the wild, they have to kill to eat. And they will kill randomly, hunt randomly to eat, even if they're not hungry, because they know that I better get a meal in my stomach because there might not be one available later. So I better go ahead and take this opportunity. Your mind does the same thing. It's out there in the wilderness. So you have to get to a place where you can bring your mind inside and get it domesticated and trained. Until then, it's just out there. It's just out there. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and we are talking about the things that people who have asked you to marry them have lost or won or lost, gained or had subtracted. Carol Chamberlain says, nope. I walked away and didn't look back. I didn't want to cause him any pain. Ordinary pain. You're just a masochistic fool. Ordinary pain. All right. Before it gets too late, and then I have to wait, and I have to hurry to get this question off. This thing about people who have been married more than 3 times. or should I say more than twice? Do you look at them sideways? Now, I understand if you feel like that's not up for you to judge, it ain't none of your business and all of that, but you're not going to tell me that you don't have an opinion, because we do. I have an opinion, you have an opinion, we have an opinion, we all have an opinion, and it's okay to have one. But if you were single and looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, if that was your case, and you were ready to settle down, and you met somebody that you really liked, and you found out that they had been married 3, 4, 5 times, what do you think? Now, I didn't want to just ask that question. What I want to ask is how that compares to a person who has multiple children by multiple men or women, because they get looked at sideways and judged harshly all the time. You mean to tell me she got 3 kids by 3 different fathers? You go ahead and wife her if you want. She got 4 different kids by 4 different fathers. How old is she? Like, it really matters. It don't matter what age she is. If she has 3 different kids by 3 different fathers, people gonna look at her like she loose, or like she just opened her legs and let anybody nut up in her, randomly. People's minds go straight to that. Even though they may have done the same thing, they look at it like, but I ain't had kids by them all. That don't mean that you ain't let them run up in you, and it don't mean that you ain't let them bust in you. It could mean that you just took a pill, had a diaphragm in there, made him pull out, or you was barren. The twat was the barren sea. Go ahead, you can dump all the goo in there you want. Ain't nothing gonna happen. But I'm wondering how you compare a person that's been married a bunch of times to a person that has a bunch of kids, who may have been married a time or two, or may not have been married. We give women a raw deal. We give them a side eye and a harsh judgment at every turn. We will be quick to be like, okay. Four different fathers, huh? Men too. Like, he just go raw. He don't use no condoms. He just run up in anybody, huh? His pull-out game is on Bartles and James wine cooler. Is weak. It's non-existent. So people who have been married all of those times. Now, we might not look at the first spouse or the second spouse any kind of way, because quite honestly, a lot of people do better on their second marriage than they do on their first. So the first marriage may have been done for the wrong reasons or at the wrong time in your life, the wrong reasons and the wrong times in your life. That second marriage normally requires more thought, or has more thought put into it, more maturity, and a sense of readiness. So we may know what was lost and gained for the spouses in those first 2 marriages. Third, fourth, and fifth, or should I say third, fourth, or fifth, or should I say third or fourth or fifth, or God forbid even more? I mean, would Would you allow yourself to fall in love with somebody who's been married 3 times already? Now, don't get it twisted. In the United States of America, you can only be married legally to one person at a time. Still, people who are married often get marriage proposals from people while they're still married. So the same premise, the same situation exists, whether we're talking about you being single and considering marriage, or you getting married, being married. Now, let's say you are married or are married to somebody, and you're not divorced from them, but y'all having problems. Maybe y'all are separated legally or just literally. You hook up with somebody, you're living with somebody, you're talking to somebody, you got a baby by somebody, you with somebody who really wants to be with you, and they say, listen, I need you to get that divorce because I'm ready to marry you. I'm ready to wife you up. I'm ready to husband you down. Let me marry you down, even if it takes all night. So you still gotten a marriage proposal, even though you may not be able to accept it right now. Some people do just go ahead and accept it. Bigamy. You probably be surprised of all the people that you know who have gotten married while they were married. I know a few. Yes, I do. Sometimes people get married, they don't tell nobody. I think in the movies and TV, they call that an elope. But it's only an elope when you run off and get married. It's just a secret marriage when somebody don't know that you married to 2 people at the same time. Secret marriage. That's what we have. Trying so hard to make our kids think we're not. Nah, I'm just saying. Sometimes it be like that, though. Sometimes it be like that, though. Donald Mack says, I gained 2 beautiful children. She did also, along with me getting her credit score together. I guess we both won something. That's what's up. D Mac, have you ever asked anybody else to get married? Carol Chamberlain says, nope. I believe live and let live. If they like it, I love it. Just not for me. I hear that. But you know the peanut gallery be like, Somebody grandma be like, Well. Oh, hey. Well. Anyway, yeah. That girl got 3 different daddies. Three different daddies with 3 different babies. Oh, okay. I know my grandson better. Strap up. I know he went on and had a baby by. Hey, couldn't nobody tell him nothing. Meanwhile, grandma got some suspect children. She got some. Let's just say, a lot of grandmothers got checkered past. What do I mean by checkered past? They got light skin and dark skin and brown skin ones. You figure it out. Granddaddy was just as light as grandmama was with these brown kids. Oh yeah, it skips a generation. A generation of African? That boy is darker than the womb. All right, though. T. Carey Wright says, I don't look at them sideways because I've seen in real time and I understand the parameters that lead them or that led them to marry more than twice. It can be innocent. But just like having 3 kids by 3 different mothers or fathers can be innocent too. But everybody doesn't always look at it that way. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down, I wouldn't marry a woman who's been married twice already. Like, it's not going to happen. That's me. I can be a little judgy. She's been married 3 times. I don't know. And the reason I say all of this is because I do look at marriage as a deep commitment. It's not something that you just keep doing until you get right. You know what I mean? You're supposed to put time and effort and thought into that thing. But we all know that the time, effort, and thought that everybody puts into it ain't the same thing. It ain't the same thing. TK Wright says, believe it or not, society looks at both women the same way. And that was why I asked. Carol says, my mom did. She never divorced her husband and married my dad, but hey, people in the South didn't get divorced back in the day. Divorces back then. You know what, Carol, you're right and you're wrong. Because a lot of people down South didn't actually get legally married either. Everybody didn't always involve the state and everything that they did. Some did, some didn't. As far as I'm concerned, for me, if you're not physically with your spouse anymore, but you are physically living with somebody else, that's divorced enough for me. But the state might have something to say about it. Because they coming to get their money. Anybody who has ever filed taxes jointly knows what I'm talking about. The IRS wants you to be honest, and they will find a way to make you be that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. Okay. Donald Mack says, nope, didn't ask her. She asked me. More like gave me an alternative. Or you mean an ultimatum? Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah, I'm taking live calls. You didn't press number 1, Donald Mack. You know, you got to press number 1. It tells you to press number 1. I saw you. Listen, I know you be driving. You might have just, you might have said, well, listen, I can't be looking, but I can be listening. I got you. Let me cue my man in. My brother from another mother, Donald Mack. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
What it is.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man. I've been I had to find you. I mean, I would see you come up. I don't know where y'all had moved, but I got a new phone and all that other stuff. You know how all that stuff go. But I'm back.
That's what's up, man. It's always a pleasure to have you back. This is your family right here, man. We always kept your place right here at the table.
And I have to say congratulations to you and your Philly boys. They doing the damn thing.
Yeah, man. Hopefully this will be another year for us. I'm definitely trying to push the envelope on that.
I'm rooting for him because my frat brother driving that truck. You know what I'm saying? So I got to root for him. Root for him.
Yeah, I think we deserve it. So we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, I thought for a minute they was gonna try to go undefeated or something, but I know we ain't talking about that. The marriage thing, man. I'm actually seeing somebody right now who has been married twice, and I told her I absolutely would not marry her. She had to do what she had to do, but I ain't trying to get married right now. I'm taking a day at a time. We can do whatever we do, but I ain't trying to get marriage is not even in it ain't even in my foresight right now. You know, I like her and all of that kind of stuff, but just the fact that she has been married and divorced twice. Um, I don't know. I can't say that I judge her, but I know how I felt when I first got married, how I felt about that woman, and I'm not even getting that same vibe from this one. So I wouldn't even consider it right now.
So and at least you're honest with yourself about that, and you have to be, because so many people aren't really honest about their own feelings. And I don't know why you would be dishonest with yourself about exactly the way you feel. Listen, if it don't feel right, why would you? Okay, if you went to go buy some meat at the market and you went and sniffed the meat and it ain't really smell right, like it looked good, but something didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had a bad feeling. Like, look, the price is right and it looked good, but something, it ain't supposed to smell like that. Like, you might pass on it. Now you might buy it, but when you get home, you might realize, like, now I see why it was marked down. They painted this meat up. You understand what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I knew something
Right.
wasn't right about it, but because the opportunity was there, I had the money in my pocket, it looked like a good deal. I went on through with it. A lot of people do that in marriages also. So what we was talking
Right.
about tonight was when you say no or when you refuse to ask because something doesn't feel right. That person loses something by you not coming forward, or gains something by you doing that. But they may not know, because you might not tell them. You might not tell them that, well, really the problem ain't you, it's really me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't have a problem with you, but the problem that I have with marrying you is not really with you. It's kind of with me. But
Yeah.
it does involve you. So they might not know that you weren't really ready to be dedicated to them the way that a man should be dedicated to his wife, or at least be ready to be dedicated to his wife. You know what I mean? She might not know that. And so many people get married nowadays and they're not even thinking like that. As a matter of fact, people are going around all of that. Like, it doesn't really matter because marriage is a business. You know how people are saying that so much in the past years. Marriage is a business, so all that love and all that doesn't really matter. They've reduced it down to money. You know, now, in my opinion, you only reduce a marriage down to finances when you have given up on your emotions. You've given up on love. You don't think that it's possible. You don't think you can win that way. What do you think?
I would definitely have to at least think that I was in love. I think the biggest part is most people get into this thing about wanting to be married, and sometimes they don't want to ask the hard questions. They see flags up. They don't want to like rock the boat. They don't want to start no waves. If I was to get married again, I mean, it's a whole lot of hard questions that I would ask this woman who I was dealing with. We'd have to see past tax returns. I'd have to see credit scores. I had to see a whole lot of shit that I didn't see in my first marriage, because I think that all of that is important. And then you have to receive a person where they are. I think it's important to be spiritually on the same page, whether you have a certain religion or anything like that. But both of y'all at least need to, acknowledge whether or not you believe in a spiritual being. That's important, I think. And I also think that, you have to accept a woman and that woman has to accept you where you are. There are certain things that are just not going to take place. My girl, she be wanting me to go, dancing with her, ballroom and shit. I'm not going ballroom and I'm not doing that. That's not what I do. I don't care if you go and have a good time and all that other shit, but that's not something that I'm going to initiate because I know that's not something that I want to do. And so don't try to make me do something that I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. And that's just one example. It might be shit, eating bacon. It might be a lot of things, that you just don't, you got to accept me where I am. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be having sex in the car. No, I ain't having sex in the car no more. We're going to go to the crib and do it the old fashioned way because I'm too old to be trying to be all up in the car and shit.
I tell you what, I mean, getting dressed and undressed in a car is not sweet like that when you get older. Yeah, I don't know how we used to get our clothes off that easily and fast back in the day. Yo. It ain't sweet like that. You know what I mean? Move this damn seat up.
Yeah. Now I might pull old boy out if you want to just give me some top in the car or something like that. We might be able to do something like that, but
right.
I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to get up and walk around and wash up or whatever. I ain't trying to get up in no car, be shooting on the shield and all that. Anyway, it's good to hear your voice, brother.
Good to hear yours too,
and all of my peeps, my go-getters and family. I miss y'all. It's good to see y'all back. And I'm gonna try to get on here a little bit more often, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you calling in, Don.
All right, brother. All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, holla back.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like Donald Trump said, that was a perfect call. Perfect call. That's my man. I always appreciate, the good word from my other brother from another mother, Donald Matt. But yeah, I mean, when it all comes down to it, the choices are yours to make or not make. But when somebody asks you to marry them, or when you ask somebody to marry them and they say no, or you say no, that person that you said no to, that person that you said no to, they don't know. They don't know that they may have actually dodged a bullet or relieved some stress or warded off some bad energy. They don't know, because you're either ready for that level of commitment or you're not. If you're ready, good, but you can be ready and still not be prepared, or you could be prepared and not be ready. You might be ready for what's going to happen today and tomorrow, but you might not be ready or have the endurance for what's going to happen next year, 5 years from now, 10 years down the line. And so many times nowadays, it seems like with social media, we aren't even thinking about it that way. You got people getting married on social media or saying that they got married, changing their status, putting up wedding pictures and all of this googly goo. And then a year and a half later, sometimes 6 months. Oh no, that person changed. You married them after 6 months. Divorced them after another 6 months, which is a year. You ain't changed. You didn't even get to know them. But to each his own. You're gonna do what you think you supposed to do. But we was talking about what people who have married you, who have asked you to marry them, have lost or won. When you said no. If you said yeah. It's all on you, baby. Tori, 2200. Thanks for coming on through. And also Bobby Hill Cisse. Barbara Hill Cisse. Thanks for coming on by. Appreciate it. And Barbara Hill Cisse says, well, hold on. Tori 2200 says, marriage is a business agreement. It's not just about money. It's about how you take care of business. I guess the key word here is business. Business. I guess. Barbara Hill Cisse says, I accept the people the way they are unconditionally. Okay. We can't just be in a relationship if you don't want to do some things I like, same as I would do things you like to do. You must have an iPhone now, because you can write better than that. I can't deal with this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do better than this. You know what? You probably doing the talk to text thing. Is that what you're doing? Talk to text? Because we're not having this. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to struggle to read you. I'm just saying. This is the glasses. I accept people the way they are unconditionally. We just can't. That's a run-on sentence. Fix it. All right. Anyway, you do all the things you like to do while you're alone. Okay. She also says, I do the things I like to do while I'm alone, but we can do things we each like to do periodically for the other person. Cool. TK, right. Thank you for that sticker. Thank you for the sticker. I appreciate it. And y'all can, if y'all want to do a super sticker, super chat, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's available. You see the little thing. Just push that thing. You take care of the rest. You good? You good? Barbara Hill CC says you read it wrong. You said no, you're missing words. Read it again. No. Oh, I'm reading it wrong. All right, fine. If I read it wrong, I read it wrong. Let me read it again. I accept people the way they are unconditionally. We just can't be in a relationship if you don't want to do some. Yeah, that's a run-on sentence. After unconditionally, it should have been a period. That's the problem. Y'all can't see that? See, y'all ain't good in English like me. Y'all not like me. You know what I mean? Y'all not like me. That's why, I need a woman who's good in English. I can't be. You think I'm going to be having my woman sending me text messages with run-on sentences like she got an iPhone? I'm like, look at this. I love her, but she dumb. Can't have everything. All right, let's do these birthday shout outs. Okay. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious January 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Kai Smith. Happy birthday to you, Kai. And also, come on, man, get out of here. Oh, what in the hell? What are we doing? And Nakenya R. Stanford turning 42 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Katrina LeBlanc. Happy birthday to you, Katrina LeBlanc. And Timothy Lipscomb turning 64 years old today. And La Boca Chula Estrella turning 33 years old today, and Isha Campbell turning 46 years old today, and Thomas Christina, happy birthday to you, and also Nadine Fisher turning 30 years old today, and Dante Franklin turning 43 years old today, and last but not least, my man from over in Jersey, good comedy boy, my man Dan Reagan, happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious January 24th. I hope that today finds you all in good happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Somebody gained something when you said yes. Somebody gained something when you said no. Somebody lost something when you said yes. Somebody lost something when you said no. But you know how the game's going to go. You got to go with your heart. And if it tells you so, you're going to hook up and link like a chain. But sometimes there's going to be a lot of pain. And the restraint that you use for yourself is the thing that's going to give you emotional health. And I think for yourself, you should always try to hook up with something that makes you fly. You get by, we going to do it. You're going to flow through this rhyme just like fluid. I know that y'all want to be better men and women, but we got to make sure that we not swimming in the cesspool of bad emotions. Make sure that we keep a thing like lotion. You got to lube it up. You got to do it up. You got to make sure that you the best. Yup, my name is Sun75, and make sure that we do the things we survive. And I'm going to drop this mic right now. Get back to y'all tomorrow. Y'all know how it goes down. Thank y'all for listening to the Daily Go Getimism show. Appreciate y'all all coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Getimism show, 7 p.m. So make sure y'all come on through. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. I holla. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. Terry Hawkins holding it down for the
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
24/7, 365, 12 months a year, 52 weeks. That's what I'm talking about. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace, y'all.